All right, welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick for this week's Breakout Watchlist from April 5th to April 9th. In this video, I'll be covering 16 stocks that I think have breakout potential in the upcoming week. They're all above their 200-day simple moving average, which itself is in an uptrend, 152% off their 52-week low or more, and have held great relative strength during the market pullback in the last couple weeks. From last week's watch list, we finally got some traction. Of those 15 stocks, 14 of them were profitable, and the largest gains were 23% on BW, 15% on GPRE, and 10% on CRTO. So it does look like growth stocks are starting to firm up again, starting to break out and hold their breakouts. Last week, I broke a 5-week losing streak, minor losses as we just got chopped up a little bit, but starting to look pretty good for the growth stocks. Typically, I get a watch list of 50 stocks in a really strong growth market, 50 stocks, and then have to whittle it down to 20 or 15 for you guys. The last 5 weeks, I've been finding 20 stocks and then whittling it down to 15. In this video, I had 53 stocks and brought it down to 16. So definitely a lot of good setups out there, and excited for hopefully a good week coming up here. If this is your first video, I do these breakout watch lists on Sunday. I typically do a live stream on Tuesday or Wednesday during the week, and then a trading recap on Friday. I also am putting together a Trading 101 series where I teach 3 of my friends who have never traded before all the basics of trading, risk management, and building out a trading rule book for them. So if you're interested in stock trading videos, please subscribe to my channel. Leave a like on the video if you enjoy the content, and follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, and TikTok. If you're coming here for a specific stock, timestamps will be in the comment section below. Make sure you vote on your favorite on my Twitter account. Quick disclaimer, anything that we talk about is not financial or stock advice. This is all for educational purposes only. These are the stocks that I'm looking at. Doesn't mean that if it's your trading style, doesn't mean that you should take those trades. Trading comes with financial risk. Here is the stock lineup today. The stars, if you've been following along, are in the voting for week 14. So you can, after the video is over, go to my Twitter account and vote on your favorite out of CTRN, GME, MYO, and VRTV. We'll be covering each of these setups in more detail in 1 second. So just a quick example. These are the 4 stocks that you guys can vote for this week. I just did my Q1 giveaway with the Tik Tok Trading Challenge, but all the money that I make on TikTok, I put into a trading account and let you guys decide how we invest it week to week. If that account beats my own trading account on a weekly compounding basis at the end of 2021, I'll be giving that account away to a random commenter of that first TikTok Trading Challenge video that I'll link up here right now. So make sure you go vote on your favorite setup. All right, let's get into it. First, we have AMG. And as you can see here, zooming out, we have a really strong uptrend, 250, 28, all in the right order. This 8 is the 8 exponential, just so you know. Had been in a very strong uptrend, and then we got this 36% pop or so around February. And since then, it is flagged out here, only pulling back, I want to say it was 18%. Let's see, no, even less, 11% from the highs there. And from there, we just tightened up here. Great relative strength. A lot of the growth stocks have pulled back. This has not been. Looks like it's firming up to go again on Friday or Thursday, shortened trading week. Low of the day, bounced right at the 8-day exponential moving average, and we closed right at the high. So for this one, I'll just be looking for a break over Monday's high of 153.55 as a possible buy point right through there. That's AMG. Next, we have AMRS. This is a stock that I'm currently holding. Got in on Friday on this break of kind of a lower pivot here. This is a name that I've traded a couple times through here, this pullback breakout here. So I do have some profit earlier on. I guess, yeah, that was early this year. Very strong stock since the beginning of 2021. Had pulled back a little bit here, broke the 20-day moving average, but never closed under it, or didn't close under it in that first pullback. So showed me that buyers stepped in. Then we had some sideways trading action, setting up this lower pivot. It did break that pivot on Friday, which is when I got in. Got in with a break over 2027, the high from, that would be Tuesday's high. Unfortunately, right when I got in, it got sent back down. So there's definitely some sellers lurking right around this area, but I think if we can move over Thursday's high, shortened trading week, of 2057, that we can get going again, because you can see 250.28, really strong stock, just measuring from beginning of 2021, it's up 200%. So definitely one to keep an eye on, AMRS. Next we have CTRN, and this is one that you guys can vote on. Similar, I'm always looking for the strongest stocks that have pulled back, tightened up, and are ready to break out again. So you're going to hear the 200, the 50, 28, all in the right order. That's exactly what we're looking for, right? We don't want much resistance up top. We just want a short pullback, ideally on less volume, showing that it's only short-term or day traders selling off, and not really the institutions getting out of the stock. And with this one, we had a pullback of, let's measure it, 22%. And now we do have a couple lower pivots. You could get really aggressive with this entry. We have 1, 2, 3 daily highs right around 85.73. I might wait for the high of March 26th of 87.66, just this one upper bound. Because if we break over these lower pivots, there's still sellers that when the price got to this point, they sold off. They took some profits off that bounce. So for me, I'll wait till 87.66, but if you want to get aggressive with it, you do have a 3-day pivot a little bit lower, 85.73. That's CTRN. One thing that I wanted to point out, really good volume on the way out. All the high volume days are on up days, and then things got nice and quiet as this pulled back and tightened up. So that's CTRN. Next we have EOG. So kind of a flat 200-day simple moving average. There is some overhead on this one, so strike against the chart for sure. Not every setup's going to be perfect, so we want to point out what's wrong with the setup as well as what's right, just for full transparency. So there is some overhead from past years that we might have to dig out of. But recently, since February, this moved up 52%, had a pullback, what was it, 14%, a little bounce, pullback, and then we got going again on Thursday. You did have this 2-day lower pivot, but right at the high on here, let's see, $75 would have been a buy point on Thursday. We have moved up. We closed 75.34, so it's not too far away from that pivot right now. If we can open lower, take out the high from Thursday, 75.55, that would be my buy point on this. That's EOG. Next we have FLL. This is one that I had tried trading on this move where it shook everyone out and then turned around, took off over a lower pivot here. But trading has been very tough lately, very choppy action, high volatility. So if you're using a tight stop, 3%, 5% that I typically do, you're going to get stopped out of a lot while things chop sideways. But now that growth stocks are starting to firm up, we're seeing some breakouts hold. That's when the strategy does typically work really well. So FLL had a 140% move up, lots of chop here, another low volume. Look at the volume on the pullbacks, very low volume here, lots of volume coming in as it got out. And then we had 2 kind of sideways days. One was lower lows, lower highs, and then on Thursday was an inside candle on very light volume. So with this, I'm just looking at Tuesday's high of $9, nice round number too, as a possible buy point. So break over Tuesday's high and we get going. That's FLL. Next we have General Motors, GM. This stock has really turned it around. 200-day in a strong uptrend now, 50.28, all in the right order. Had that pullback, let's measure that pullback, right to the 50-day moving average, 13%, bounced below the day, bounced right at that. So buyers stepping in along a key moving average, important to note. Thursday's low bounced right at the 20-day moving average, 8-day exponential right there. lower volume on that. And we do have this volume shelf here for possible support on the downside. So with this, I'm just looking for a break over Tuesday's high of 58.63 as a possible buy point. Next we have GameStop. And GameStop, is that an April Fool's joke? No, I'm going to put this on the watch list. It's not typically a stock that I would trade because of all the momentum, all the shock here, but since like the first flush here, got out, pulled back, another flush to the 50-day moving average, and since then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of very tight price action. So this allows me to get a 3%, 5% stop on some type of trade on a name that has tons of volatility to it. So if this does get going, I wanted to point out, you see this kind of vacancy in the volume shelf here. So this is the volume profile. It measures the volume at each of the price ranges. So if this slips here, slips the high of Tuesday, which would be 204.30, that would be my possible buy point there. You have very little resistance up until this move up into 240, which is a 16% move. So my idea with this is break over Tuesday's high, 204.30, get in at that price, and then try to quickly move my stop to my entry, because I don't want to be kind of head faked out. This is getting nice tight price action, and I'm not going to put a very large position on this because I don't believe in GameStop for the long term, but for short-term trading, this has a lot of momentum to it, nice tight price action. So I'll be quick to move my stops to my entry point, try to take out the risk as quickly as possible, but definitely a name that when it gets going, it gets going. So wanted to call that out here. If you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like and comment any stocks that you're watching that I'm not covering today, because if I'm helping you guys out getting prepared for the week, I would like that help as well. So if there's a great stock that I haven't covered, let me know in the comments. Next we have Goodyear GT. This is just short of a high tight flag, up 87%. High tight flags are up 90% in 8 weeks or less, and then pulls back within 25% of the high. So 87% to 90%, just short of that, but did have a 19% pullback instead of a 25%. So good enough for me. Has pulled back, bounced up here, and now we're sitting right on this volume shelf of support. Volume itself on a daily volume is coming in. Average true range, ATR, is coming in, so that measures the daily bars, how large they are. So that just means volatility is coming in. And with that, if we break Wednesday's high, 17.89, that would be my possible buy point. And you have a nice tight stop through there. If you use the low of the day on Thursday, that would just be around a 4% stop. So I like that setup. That's GT. Next we have KOPN. This is one, I think I tried to trade this before, probably got stopped out somewhere. But zooming out here, 250.28 on the right order. We're sitting just at the end of the volume shelf here. Great volume coming out on Wednesday's candle, and then sideways action on Thursday, lighter volume. This just means no one was really disagreeing on the price. Everyone agreed that it should stay over the 8-day, over the 20-day, right where we closed on Wednesday, down 1%, but with this kind of volatility, that's good. So if we break over Wednesday's high of 10.98, just call it 11, a nice round number, that would be my possible buy point on this one, KOPN. Next we have MYO. This is another one that you guys can vote on. Really powerful name, but has shaken out a lot of traders. So we had a 200% move since the beginning of 2021. Since that top, all the growth stocks pulled back. This was no exception, down 48% from the highs, but did so on slightly less volume until you see the volume on the up days kind of take over compared to the volume on the down days. That's when I would start to trade a stock that really pulled back like this. So you see heavy volume selling compared to the light volume on the bounce, heavy volume selling, light volume on the bounce, all the way through here. And then we get this day, the 19th. That might actually have been the quad witching day. Need to check that. But since then, pulled back again, tightened up, and on Thursday we got the first time where the volume was heavier on a green day than a red day. So definitely a more aggressive entry here would be buying on the high of a break over 1362, which would be the high of March 29th right through here. But it is a lower pivot. Similar to GameStop, there is that volume shelf through here to get going. That's a 7% move, so you can be quick to move your stop to your entry, take out the risk on that. And then if it does get going, growth stocks are back. We do have a nice move up to all-time highs. So that's MYO, one of the ones that you guys can vote on. OMI, I think I might have had this on last week's watch list as well. Zooming out here, has gotten going lately. Had that very low volume pullback to the 20-day moving average, gap down at the open, and then buyer stepped in and had a bullish engulfing candle on the 25th. Good to see. Bounced heavier on the 26th, and then last week just traded sideways, tightening up the price range, ATR coming in a little bit. The volume on Wednesday was a little bit heavier, and I didn't like to see that because we opened, looked like we were going to slip over the high from the 29th. Maybe we did. Let's see, 38.56, 38.61. So we did, and then sold off a little bit. Then on Thursday, lower highs, lower lows, closed above that 8-day moving average. So for this one, because there was a lot of volume coming in or getting out on Wednesday, I do want to wait a little bit unless I see high relative volume on the day. When we break over 38.61, the high from Thursday, I'm going to be cautious, not take this trade just yet, and wait until we can get closer to all-time highs at 39.45. It's OMI. Next we have PRTA. We're going to be 75% of the way through the video here. This one's very strange. I traded this one in this lower kind of diagonal breakout here. Let's see, right through there. Got in on this day. Sold some into strength, got stopped out at my entry on this red candle. Very unfortunate, but let's see. Yeah, the 19th was the quad witching. Okay, that's good to know. But take note of all the really heavy volume days are on up days, which is great to see. High accumulation, even when it does pull down, and it pulls down heavy price-wise, it does so on extremely light volume, and that's something that you want to take note of. So who's getting out of this stock when we're pulling back to the 20-day moving average here? It's not institutions. It's probably day traders, short-term traders, something like that. So with all these high volume days on green days, while the chart's not perfect, the volume is really bringing this to my eye. So I'm just going to be looking for a break over Thursday's high of 25.74 as a possible buy point right through here. Thursday, we pulled back to the 20-day, bounced at that, closed right at the 8-day exponential, did so on lower volume, down 1.5%, but really good volume coming in on Wednesday. So that's PRTA. Not as clean of a chart as the others, but the volume is telling a different story, and I want to bring that to your attention. Next, we have RICK, another one that I had tried taking. Let's see, it was like on this breakout through here, immediately reversed, got stopped out the next day. Trading had been tough, right? Since then, we pulled back to the 50-day moving average, bounced there, heavier volume, got a good volume day on Thursday, but again, with this one, the 20-day moving average has served as resistance since we've closed under there. So we need to get a move over the 20-day to really get going. So instead of Wednesday's high, 65.09, excuse me, I'm going to be waiting for a break over the high from March 26th, which would be 66.47. And that would put us over a couple key areas. We have two daily highs, the 22nd and the 26th. And then also the 20-day moving average and the main part of this volume shelf would be broken as well. So breakout over there, very little resistance up top, and Rick could get moving. SBH, got 3 left for you. Again, if you are enjoying the video, please leave a like. It helps me out tremendously. The channel's been growing really rapidly, and I really appreciate all the support that you guys give. But if you guys can keep doing that, hitting the like button, that would help me out. SBH, zooming out here, really strong move up. since, I don't know, just call the beginning of the year. Had a 67% move up, short of a high type flag, but a nicer chart than most. We had that pullback under the 20-day moving average, gap down the next day, and immediately caught buyers, shot it up, so bullish engulfing on the 25th. Then sideways action. So a nice lower low on Thursday to try to shake out some of the short-term traders. You can see in that 4 or 5 day pivot here, the low on Thursday actually undercut all that. So anyone who had stops at those prices got cleaned out. You like to see that. So with this, I'm just looking at the high of 2081 at March 26th high as a possible buy point. Got a couple daily highs through there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and more of the volume shelf worked off if we get over that price. VRTV is next, and this is the last one that you guys can vote on. So once you're done with this video, please go to my Twitter account and vote on your favorite setup. Let's get the Tik Tok Trading Challenge going in your favor now. VRTV, this is maybe my favorite setup. I guess I shouldn't say that and change the voting, but really, really quality setup. I think up 183% since February to the highs here. We did pull back 25%, so high tight flag. Pulled back to the 20-day, bounced right there, another low volume pullback, and then some sideways action. Thursday, inside candle, bounced right at the 20, at the 8, converging right there, closed just under the high here. So you could draw a diagonal, and you could see this kind of has two types of buy points. You have the diagonal buy point coming in here. So just a break over Thursday's high is going to be my buy point, 43.21. That would get the diagonal break, and then also if you wait to the break of Wednesday's high, 43.53, that would be a just a flat top breakout. So you have two different systems buying at the same price. That's just going to increase the supply of buyers, less demand, or less sellers sitting there, and this could really get going. Lots of power in the name. Nice low volume as it flagged out here and set up. So this is VRTV. And last but not least, we have ZIM. IPO here that really got out 52% and then got chopped up. High volatility here. Look at how large these daily bars are. So definitely tough to get a low risk entry unless you're just putting an arbitrary 5% stop, which I do sometimes. But wanted to call out because of Thursday's move, higher volume on that. We did break out over 1, 2, 3 daily highs here. And then with this, similar to VRTV, we just have a downward diagonal here. So if we open lower than Thursday's high and then take out Thursday's high, 26.48, that would be my possible buy point. And that's going to be the breakout watch list for the week. We got 16 stocks for you. If you have a stock that is setting up that I didn't cover, please leave that in the comment section below so I can be as prepared as you are going into the week. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, share this with any friends, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, and TikTok. And I'll see you guys next week.